Saya king andas lukunana digula.
In July 2005, 25 Tlingit, Haida and Tsimshian elders gathered in Juneau, Alaska to speak and listen and meet with one another, to tell stories about their lives, their clans, their nations, and their land. Stories about embracing family and community wellness. The year before, these same elders had met to agree upon a common set of traditional tribal values. Those values were then taken to the 69th Annual Delegates Assembly of the tribe and unanimously adopted. They are as follows: discipline and obedience to the traditions of our ancestors, respect for self, elders, and others, respect for nature and property, patience. Pride in family, clan, and traditions is found in love, loyalty, and generosity. Be strong in mind, body, and spirit. Humor. Hold each other up. Listen well and with respect. Speak with care. We are stewards of the air, land, and sea. Reverence for our Creator. Live in peace and harmony. Be strong and have courage. These are the stories they told.
My name is Matilda Gamble. I'm originally from Sitka, but I live in Angoon because my father and my late husband comes from Angoon. So that's where I have a home. And this winter I've been spending quite a bit of time here because I've been under medical care, and I'm coming in from Angoon every other week, and then I go back for a week or two. But I'm really happy to be here for this one gathering that we're having, that we were invited to come to as elders. What I would like to speak about, now before I go into it, I'd like to say something about my Tlingit name. I have a name that was given to me when I was born, and it's pronounced Yedej Koslatsin. It's quite a long name, and I never did care to use it, but my late brother, Saipek Sr., gave me another name, and he tells me to use this as a party name. And this name comes from Klakwan. Shaksani Keek. That's the name I go by now, especially at parties. What I would like to speak about today is how we prepare ourselves for our payoff parties. These things are very important to us, especially when we lose a loved one, and we'd like to say thank you to the opposite clan. Like if we are eagles, we know that the ravens came and helped us out in many ways during our mourning time. So I'd like to say a little bit on these payoff parties, because eventually we're going to have the children reading these things, or they're going to be told by their teachers what to know about our Indian parties. And that is the reason why I chose to use this giving parties, 40-day parties, or the payoff parties. These are two different parties. The 40-day party is a party that we give 40 days after our loved one has been buried, and then there again the opposite people come and help us out. So we have to say thank you to them in public, and we put on these 40-day parties, and which is something that we were born into. We didn't just learn it from somebody else. As soon as I was big enough and able to understand and speak, I was told about these parties, and I was lectured that I have to be very quiet when I go to one of these parties among big people, because that's how I would learn. This is what I was told by my auntie, Mrs. George Betts, and the other one is Elizabeth Williams. These were my father's family, and they talked to me about it, and of course my mother had to really push this so I could learn. So when these payout parties are giving, the first thing that we do is save money. We don't do what I have been doing in the past, jumping on the ferry to come over to Juneau and then spend a few days here, spend up all my money and go back to Angoon. But when these parties are coming up, we have to save money, and we start buying gifts like just little gifts that we could give away, that's saying thank you to the opposite people, opposite clan that have come to be with me when I lost a loved one. That's what it means. And before we give these these payoff parties, we have to, as a family, we have to agree on everything. I have experienced it because when I lost my son, Ivan Gamble, I remember when we had to all get together at one home with my relatives that were in other homes. We all came, and we discussed just how we were going to have the party, what we were going to do, and how we were going to carry ourselves. We wanted everything to be very peaceful, and we wanted to really show the opposite clan that we really appreciate how much they did for us when I lost my son. And so this is what goes on before the party, because we don't want any confusion among the people, among the families, when this party goes off. And the main reason we call this a payoff party is because we want to thank the opposite people of how they helped us when we lost a loved one. And we save money, and then we buy gifts, we buy blankets, and most important thing is we buy dishes, bowls, large and small. And when the time comes during that party, we give out these dishes to the opposite clan, those people that helped us. And we also give them blankets, we also give them gifts. Now, I'm going through this really fast, but there's a lot of other things that's involved in between the line things, but I'm sure you can figure that out yourself. And we give out these things, and then comes the very last is the money, the party that is given by the certain people put out quite a bit of money, and they pass all this money out to the opposite side, those people that helped them out, along with the gifts and the dishes and blankets. And the main part of this little story here is I'd like to say something about the children. The children are not allowed to be noisy at these parties if they come with their parents, and they're not allowed to run around. they are told what is expected of them at the party. They have to sit with their parents, or if they're sitting elsewhere, they have to be quiet and they have to listen to what takes place, because it takes quite a while when these ravens and eagles speak to each other. They have to put on some important speeches, and this is the reason why they have to keep the children very quietly, and they have to be told that in order to be a part of being somebody, they have to be really quiet, and they learn and watch what is being done at the party, because they are the future leaders. And I noticed that quite a few of these young people that were going to school with me at the same time I was going to grade school, I noticed some of them are good leaders today. And that's why I say that they did listen to the parents when they were told that they had to listen to what was going on, what was being said, and how it was handled. And this is very important to me, because I have been involved in a lot of parties where the parents never bother about their children, no matter how much noise they're making, no matter how much running around they're doing. And we need to pass this on to the students that will be learning from what we are talking about today. And I know if the teachers are telling them the stories, I know it will be stressed to them that it's very important to listen to anything that is being said, anything that has been told, in order to learn. And so the party is still going. People that gave the party always gave the most money to distribute among the people that they have invited, which is the opposite side. And I feel that this is very important to have all this down in writing, so the students can learn what goes on. And they also should know that we are, as parents, are concerned about them. We're concerned that they try to be good young people and grow up to be a very important person. And for that reason, I consented to be a part of this storytelling. Although I'm very forgetful today, I'm not ashamed to admit that. I forget things really, really easy, and that's the reason why that I took notes here. But another thing that was brought to my attention by one of my family is that we need to be very careful how we talk about some of these things, because our people, if things is not said the right way, they might get offended, or it's just something that we've learned long ago. It's something that we need to keep in mind, that we have to be careful how we talk about different things, because it could turn into something very, very large, like maybe some people try to ask each other, why did you say this and why did you say that? So we have to kind of be careful about how we present our stories. And when I was taking notes, I had to be really, really careful of what I put down on paper, because I don't want it to get out of here saying that I said this and it shouldn't have been said. But however, I'm very very glad to be a part of this. I was at one of these gatherings before, and I really enjoyed myself. And when I was asked to come again this time, I was very excited about coming over so I could be a part of this because, like I said, I'm very, very concerned about today's children. We are having problems with the children in schools, not in Juneau only, but in all the villages and the other cities. And I'm very concerned myself, so I wanted to be a part of this. It's so important that we get this word to those children, to the students that will perhaps hear these stories when they come out, when they're printed. And I'd like to say thank you to Tlingit and Haida one more time, and to those that are here in this building to help us put these stories forth. And I enjoyed all the stories that were told before mine. And I hope you enjoyed this one too. Thank you.
Alisaya King Andas Lukunana Digula Digwa Wagina Nuya Daskit Alung Kilkana Digula Digwa Yahuwah Lihiyai Yahuwah Lihiyai Yahuwah Lihiyai Yahuwah Lihiyai Yahuwah Lihiyai Yahuwah Lihiyai